Because I had to fight Aigis with Labras.
Finally.
Oh, come on. Jeez, that hurt. Something about Yukari's AI. Jesus. We don't even give the fallen shadow a second glance and says we rush to where Mitsuru-san is hanging on the cross. The sturdy lock gives us some trouble, but we finally manage to get Mitsuru-san down, and the atmosphere among us becomes more cheerful. Though Mitsuru-san was quite disabled, she quickly regains consciousness.
Labras. Everyone.
Mitsuru-san looks relieved for a moment after seeing our faces, but she seems to have quickly reached an understanding. Her expression quickly turns meek as she apologizes to us.
I'm sorry. My judgment was flawed. I'm responsible for all of this.
We all have off days.
Jeez, there you go again with that stuff. Still, I'm really glad you're okay.
Thank you. It's all thanks to you.
Oh, Fuka's safe too. She's headed this way from somewhere else right now, though.
I see you managed to find Yukari-san, Junpei-san.
Hey, Ken? Man, you've grown. I mean, of course I did. It's all going according to plan.
But I heard that you fell asleep on your train and ended up here by accident.
You never change, do you?
It seems that the auxiliary staff, like Yukari-san, haven't seen Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san in a while, so they have sentimental expressions as they greet each other. The stiff look on Mitsuru-san's face slowly begins to melt away. I was worried about Yukon and his friends after they were hurt, but they seem to be recovering as well. I'm so glad. Yukon and the others approached me.
Labras! I'm so glad you came. I thought we were done for.
I thought you turned into your shadow for a moment back there. What was that all about?
I don't know, but I guess my shadow's been within me all this time, watching everything I've seen. And I think she's changing too, even if only little by little. And it was all of you who brought me back.
You really did help us. Thank you.
As I'm conversing with everyone from Inaba, I hear some distinctive footsteps. I look toward them and see two shapes running in from beyond the fog. It's Fuka-san and Teddy. It'll be reassuring to have Fuka-san with us, and she's great at supporting us on the intel front. I bet Teddy will help us too, saying things like how he's my knight. I can't help but smile when I hear their voices calling to me.
Labichan! Thank goodness! I was so worried about you!
Labras, you came to save us, right? Thank you. Whoa, he really is a talking costume. You're not General Teddy, right?
Of course I'm not! Look at my fur! It's completely
It's 100% genuine teddy fur.
What does that even mean?
Koromaru-san says that his is 100% genuine dog fur.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a dog.
Koromaru, best boy.
Hey, what kind of fur is your coat made of, Mitsuru-san?
This? Kikuno bought this coat, so... No, let us save the discussion of fur for later.
Mitsuru-san walks toward Yukon and his friends. Seeing the leaders of the Shadow Operatives and the investigation team together like this make me proud. These two people saved me and gave me a place to belong. I want to fight for these people, well, and that will help me get stronger. Having friends and comrades is truly wonderful. That's what I think.
Murakami, I must thank you. It seems we're once again indebted to you.
No, I have to apologize for breaking my promise to you. Your people have helped us out too.
That's fine. You helped me remember something important.
We did?
That's right. Trying to keep danger and death at a distance only results in putting life at a remove as well. I knew this when I established the Shadow Operatives, but it seems that I became too focused on thinking only about the present.
Mitsuru-san.
Allow me to ask for your help now, Narukami. I'd like you and your friends to cooperate with us. We need your assistance to solve this case.
Do I really need to answer that? Of course we'll protect Inaba.
You can look straight into Mitsuru-san's eyes, and she answers. Seeing a sincere resolve, Mitsuru-san nods cheerfully. Yukon's friends are all smiling too, as if they're agreeing to gladly take on anything that comes their way.
By the way, why don't we all compare what we know about the situation?
Oh, you're on the ball, Ken. I was just about to suggest that myself. Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. You're just trying to claim his idea. I mean, seriously. How lame do you have to be to try and steal credit from someone so much younger?
We each describe what we've experienced up to this point. Once we have a grasp of that, the topic of our conversation obviously shifts to Sho Minazuki.
Who in the world is that show kid? Didn't he say something about Akutsuki being his dad?
That young man stated that he was the mastermind behind the recent events here in Inaba. He also said that he is Shuji Akutsuki's son. But the file I was given by Kakuno-san clearly said that Takutsuki had no family.
Presumably, he had a life before he was the chairman of Gekkoukan High. Couldn't he have had a child during that time?
No, Ikutsuki had no family, let alone a child. The only things on his mind were his experiments and the fall.
Eesh, so he was a mad scientist? Oh, don't tell me he was doing human experiments too.
Yes, he gathered orphans from different areas and performed inhumane research on them to try to artificially induce their personas.
Whoa, seriously? That's messed up.
Even after Ergo Research was disbanded, it seems Ikutsuki stole the research data and continued performing such experiments personally. One of those test subjects was named Sho Minazuki. The records state that he was the youngest of the test subjects.
Hey Z, welcome to the stream. How was your day? Thanks. I thought my affiliate anniversary was earlier. Apparently not.
An orphan, huh? Did Akutsuki adopt him?
No, Sho Minazuki was nothing more than a favorite subject to Ikutsuki.
Test subject? But he's a person! How could he do such a horrible thing?
The Kirijo group of the time was an evil place, suffused with his arrogance.
We'll learn all about that when P4AU Reloaded comes out.
It isn't hard to imagine how he was treated with Ikutsuki in charge. Minazuki was raised in a solitary environment, never interacting with anyone.
Day's going well. Not sure about the anniversary. It was just up there when I came in. And yeah, I could have been wrong, and it was earlier. But hey, if it's today, though it's kind of funny that it happened on on New Year's Eve.
I suspect his experiences from that time greatly affected the development of Minazuki's current personality.
So that's why he said Ikutsuki was his dad. And he told bad jokes like Ikutsuki, too. Hey, that reminds me. In the middle there, he suddenly seemed like a different person. What was that all about?
We'd all noticed that. It was so sudden in how his personality just switched. The red-haired boy could have split personalities. But the presence that I felt was bothering me a bit.
Mitsuda-san, when he reintroduced himself as Minazuki, I sensed some kind of resonation with my plume of dusk. What could that mean?
There is no information on that. The same goes for the power he had when his eyes turned red. Perhaps they are a result of Ikutsuki's experimentation. The entirety of the report has not been deciphered, but Ikutsuki's data does mention Minazuki's name and the plume of dusk. Kikuno's decoding it now.
Oh, I have it too. Kikuno-san entrusted me with it because it was an emergency.
Ah, that's fine. Either way, I was intending to share it with all of you once the report had been completely deciphered.
Shuji Ikutsuki, the man who performed a countless number of inhumane experiments at the former Ergo Research, who used Mitsuru-san and others, even while serving as the chairman of Gekkan High School, and who schemed to destroy the world. I can easily imagine how many victims his experiments may have created. I myself am a result of a similar process. After all. Hey, Lotus Prince, welcome to the stream. How was your day? So, Shogun is another one of those victims.
Hey, when he got all cold and called himself Minazuki, he said that he wasn't after revenge for Ikutsuki, right?
Correct. Based on what he said, it seems this Minazuki set this situation in motion to grant the hot-headed boy his wish for immense solitude.
And then he was talking about persona fragments.
That's right. He said that he covered the town in this red fog and was carving our personas by making us fight in it. The sense of fatigue we felt when we were on those crosses is most likely part of that same plan. Looks like we completely fell for it.
But he said that he'd gathered enough fragments of our personas, didn't he? Then...
Yes, he's most likely completed that step of the plan.
What was that part about awakening something? I mean, I can guess that it's going to be pretty dangerous, but what's he trying to call down?
I know nothing about that, but if it's similar to what we encountered at Tartarus, it's nothing welcome.
Persona fragments, huh? What in the world is he planning on using them for?
Is this all part of what he wants? And we fall silent, full of impatience and uncertainty. On top of that, the second personality gave us a word of caution as he was leaving. We need to make sure that everybody's safe as quickly as possible.
That reminds me, Yukiko and the others!
That's right! That Minazuki guy said that Yuki-chan and the people with her are in danger!
Naoto-san and Kanji-san said that they were going to Junes. According to Junpei-san, supposedly Yukiko-san and Rise-san were at the same location.
Huh? Oh, right. But those two said they were gonna go look for Kanji and the others, so I don't think they're still there. They could miss each other.
Yes, I'm concerned about them as well. Let's split into two teams. One heads to the top of the tower while the other searches for Narukami's friends. Yamagishi, perform a search and try to locate them as best you can.
Understood. I don't know how well it'll go, but I'll try searching for everyone.
We're counting on you.
Persona.
Fukusan closes her eyes and concentrates, summoning her persona to search the surrounding area. Then again, this red fog seems to be able to block the search abilities a little bit, like making Teddy sneeze when he tries to use his keen nose. So there's no knowing how well this will
There's
go.
so much interference. The fog might be getting thicker. Oh, I have 2 readings near Junes. That may be Kanji-kun and Naoto-kun. They seem to be moving towards Junes. And I found another 2 readings in town on the move together.
Do you think that's Yukiko and Rise? Oh, I'm so worried. Oh, what the?
It's fine. The entire room shudders immensely, and the building creaks. The one calling himself Minazuki is undoubtedly close to accomplishing his goal, whatever it is. There isn't much time left for us.
We must hurry. Yukari, Iori, Amada, and Koromaru, you're the least wounded. You pursue Minazuki.
Yeah, in all fairness, like Persona 3, Persona 3 was something like, what was it, 2009? Something like that. So it is around that, these games were around that vicinity. They were PS2 era.
Right. I will go with Akihiko and Aigis to rescue Narukami's friends.
Understood.
Yamagishi, you remain here and back us up. Narukami's group, you're all too exhausted. I ask that you remain here and regain your strength.
I'll do everything I can to assist you.
Whoa, seriously? Will?
No, we should stay here. Fukusan needs someone to protect her as well.
Hey, what about me? I'm perfect.
Let's just deal with it.
Mitsuda-san, Teddy's got a great nose, so I think he'll at least be of some use. Please let him help you find our friends.
Some use? How rude! I'm totally useful. My babe Dar is up and running.
Is it still too late to switch out for General Teddy?
I see. That's promising. Well then, you can assist us, Teddy.
Mitsuru-san, the school and this town have both turned into labyrinths. It would be unproductive for us to search the town all in one group.
Yeah, Aigis is right. If we're all caught together again, things will get worse. Let's split into 2 teams to search faster.
All right, I can provide some guidance as well. Aigis and Teddy, you partner up. Akihiko and I will go together.
Teddy, you're not helping anything. Just do yourself a favor and shush.
Once you meet with Narukami's friends, head for Junes. We'll regroup there and secure the area.
Ooh, I get to be alone with Ai-chan? Their bodies were artificial, but their love was real. Okay, I'm in.
Don't make me hit you. I can tell that Mitsuru-san's leadership and quick decision-making have given everyone everyone's morale a boost. Of course, her strength stems from her deep care for her friends and comrades. All our anxiety and impatience disappears, as if it had never existed, and we're filled with a renewed determination. We all wish to protect this world. Mitsuru-san approaches me.
I should ask you this now. What do you think about that young man, Sho Minazuki?
Well, I know we can't let him destroy the world and all, but
But...
I think he's the same as me.
Every time Teddy says something, I think of that one meme that says tonight's episode, the writer's barely disguised fetish. Yeah, Teddy's always been this way.
I want to see him one more time and try to talk to him. Just like you all saved me, I want to save Sho.
Ever since I was born, I was always is alone, knowing nothing of love, trust, or interpersonal bonds. I was taught only how to fight, and never considered the possibilities of befriending anyone. That young man, Sho Minazaki, is exactly how I once was. That's right. And if that's the case, I should be able to save Shokun, the same way I was saved.
Very well. I want you to pursue Minazuki as well. I'm counting on you, Labris.
Okay.
With each of us given a duty to perform, we approach to reunite once the case has been solved and rush from the room. They at least have given Teddy the less annoying footsteps. The occasional tremor has caused the building to rumble ominously. The faint tremors, the occasional tremor has caused. Causing the building to rumble ominously are becoming more and more frequent, as if giving us an audible countdown to the end of the world. Next episode. Why we're here. I think this is going to be a short one because none of these people are in any condition to fight. After seeing my companions off, I concentrate and find everyone's locations. I have been entrusted with the task of providing support to everyone. The ability to disseminate information among them all will be the key in navigating through this twisted labyrinth. We're here because reason. Chapter end. Since I cannot fight directly, I need to help everyone and as much as I can with my own abilities.
Are you all okay? I don't sense any enemies nearby, so please concentrate on regaining your strength.
Right. Ow.
Are you okay, Fuka-san? You were only rescued a little while ago. Is it okay for you to use your persona so soon?
Thank you. I'm all right. I'm sorry we dragged you into this.
Chie-san is concerned about me, though I'm sure that she has been badly hurt herself.
No, we just screwed up. We're really thankful you guys came.
In any case, let's recover as quickly as possible so we can go after Labris and the others.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not just Chie-san, and when the persona user as of Inaba found out that I was being held captive. It's not just Chie-san. When the persona users of Inaba found out that I was being held captive, they all put themselves in danger to find me. It makes me truly happy to be able to fight it alongside these people. Hey, Theo! Without warning, one of the caskets in the room opens with a creak, and a tall man steps out of it. He came out of a casket, of all places! We're here because moves the plot along. Blue clothes, silver hair, golden eyes. Who in the world is he? I can sense his power, but I feel no hostility from him. He doesn't seem to be a shadow. You're not Vincent Valentine. Chill out and know your role. He's actually here looking for drinks.
Why are you screaming? We're the ones who freaked out!
Oh, I apologize. I was caught in the moment.
Those clothes. They're very similar to the dresses Margaret and Elizabeth wear.
Ah, so you are acquainted with my sisters. I am their younger brother, Theodore.
Elizabeth? that really strong girl with the book? What's her family doing here?
Well, my sister has given me a task, so I've come to the world outside. But along the way, I sensed the presence of Elizabeth nearby.
And that's how you came out of this coffin? What kind of horror flick did we walk into?
Yeah, that's just a quirk of these guys.
Elizabeth is close by? She's tremendously powerful, but I don't sense her at all.
Oh, she is most likely hiding her presence, so as to not hinder your journey. But I am certain that she will be watching over a battle around here. As evidence of this, please look here. There are potato chip crumbs in the bottom of this coffin, and in her favorite flavor at that.
So he was not only hiding in that coffin, so was Elizabeth. And she was there to snack.
Well, if anyone was gonna eat potato chips in a coffin, it'd be her.
These guys are putting kind of a damper on the urgency of the situation.
I mean, they would. This sort of thing is like the average Tuesday to them.
I like the local variety with the beef flavor. Can't get enough.
Can we stop talking about potato chips? Theodore, right? We haven't run into Elizabeth.
Yes, it seems I was just a tad too late. It's all right. There was merely a little something I wished to ask her.
What's that?
This is how Theodore's story goes. While out on an errand, Theodore saw a glimpse of his older sister Elizabeth. Then he decided to follow her and eventually reach this tower. What he described as being out on an errand during a situation like this seems odd, but you can seem to understand, and said that this man's sudden appearance makes sense if he really is related to the person he claims to be his sister. It seems that the man in blue was able to move about without being contained by the rules that have all been that we've been all been having trouble with. Yep, every single member of the attendant to the Velvet Room, don't mess with them. That book he's carrying isn't just for show. Could that be related to why he feels different from everyone else? Theodore wanders around the room for a bit, but eventually he feels satisfied and comes back to us.
Upon closer inspection, it seems you're all quite wounded. Forgive me for asking so brazenly, but why is it you continue to fight, even when you have been hurt to this extent?
Why?
I'm a little bewildered by the sudden question. What are we fighting in this battle for? That sure was a long way of saying he saw his sister and just sort of followed her.
Are you asking why we're fighting?
One moment, please.
Theodore raises a hand to stop us, then furrows his brow in thought.
Hearing it from you would be too easy. I see. Could my sister have given me this opportunity to see the outside world, to broaden my horizons?
Are you all right?
Ah, please forgive me. It seems I have a great deal to learn for myself.
I guess he's kind of reached a conclusion.
That's Theodore.
I'm sorry for causing you trouble. It seems this is a question I must answer on my own. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be taking my leave.
Huh? You mean you're going back?
Yes, this conversation with you has been highly significant. Please, excuse me.
In other words, I'm out. Peace.
What the hell was that just now?
I've got no idea, but, Wait, what now?
I'd almost forgotten. If you truly are in a great hurry to reach the top of this tower, then please make use of this door here. Well then.
What door?
That's mysterious.
That's a velvet room attendant, straight up. Theodore asked us why we are fighting. The reason I had such a hard time finding an answer is because I couldn't find a way of putting it into words. Theo drops mic and walks away. I mean, we all have our own reasons for being here. We peek behind the coffin lid that Theodore left through and discover a set of stairs leading up. Well, convenient. I thank the man for his brief but helpful appearance, and then try to locate the others once again. Good. I can sense everyone's strong wills as they go through the school. It's reinvigorating, and I feel my own spirit lifting. What I need to do right now is focus on doing my best. Mitsuru's anguish and going wild. I have to.
I'm worried about Yuki-chan and Rise-chan. Hang in there, ladies. I'll come get you in no time.
We also locate a giant bag of potato chips, but no drink inside. Could he have eaten all those chips without a need to hydrate?
Still, this hallway has been going on forever. If this continues, we will be unable to make any progress.
My lengthy time bound to the cross resulted in a serious drain of my energy reserves. My condition has deteriorated to a point where even normal maneuvers will be difficult. If we were to face another shadow, I might be at a severe disadvantage. On top of that, the young man named Sho displayed godlike abilities. My sister and the others are in pursuit of a target with the power to freeze everyone present. I can't help but worry about them. I feel my heart sinking as these thoughts arise in my head. Teddy walks along with me, peering into each of the classrooms we pass them. As we pass them. Perhaps his increased chatting since we left the others is an attempt to lighten my spirits.
Just thinking that danger is closing in on those innocent ladies even as we speak is making my fur fall out. I'll be positively bare.
Your fur is falling out. Perhaps it is merely your shedding season.
Yes, you sweet autistic child.
No. I'm extremely sensitive, and I lose fur when I'm stressed. Just the other day, Kanji lured me into a trap with some ice cream. He then kept nuzzling me over and over. And I ended up with a big old bald spot on my head. It was terrible.
How?
I see. Kanji-san's extreme expression of love puts stress upon your fur. I will add that to my data file on you.
By the way, are you tired at all, Ai-chan? If you do feel a little logy, feel free to snuggle up against me whenever you like.
God damn it.
No, I'm more concerned for the others in town.
No, completely ignored. But I'm sure they'll be okay. My friends are really strong, you know.
You trust them, don't you?
Of course. You believe in Michan and the others too, don't you?
Yes, I do. They're all precious to me.
We're the same after all. You're sparkling too.
Sparkling?
I love everyone who's nice to me, and the world where everyone that I love lives in really sparkles. And I want to protect that sparkle and help everyone out.
Teddy's large eyes are guileless and honest when he speaks of his friends. I'm an anti-shadow weapon, and yet Teddy's presence is similar to those of the shadows that I have been exterminating. Does that have any importance?
Thinking about someone else strengthens your own powers. We know of that phenomenon.
So why doesn't that Minazuki guy get that? Does he not see the sparkling?
Teddy then declares it's up to him to become Minazuki's friend. Eventually, we come to a door next to a sign reading Music Room. Teddy sniffs for some time, as if searching the room, then sneezes loudly.
Achoo! Ugh. We can't get to the exit unless we go through here. By the way, won't you take a little break here? You still seem exhausted, and I'm worried about you.
Teddy looks at me with worry while he suggests that. We should have descended quite a bit by now, but there is still no sign of the exit. There's no time to hesitate, but most of all, I can't let myself become a burden either.
Thank you. You're truly kind.
Of course I am. It's basic bear etiquette.
Teddy puffs his chest with pride, and he puts his hand on the music room door.
We're barreling in! Excuse us!
Those paintings are looking at us very judgmentally. There is nothing of note in the room but a grand piano. I'm about to suggest that we take a short break here, but a warning alerting me of an approaching shadow appears in my vision. This reading, it's close.
An anti-shadow weapon and a shadow. Commencing elimination.
I suddenly have the urge to play P1, Persona P1 Climax. When I hear that flat mechanical voice, a giant axe instantly appears above us. In a flash, I realize that we are being ambushed, but my body is too exhausted to move like I wanted to. It's going to hit me. If I take any more severe damage, I'll be destroyed. Teddy shoves me away, and I tumble to the floor. The fog and dust stirred up from the impact to begin to settle, and I see a giant blade embedded in the floor, right where I had been standing. Teddy had been hit by the attack meant for me, and now he's lying motionless on the ground. Well, Teddy's dead. That's a shame. Anyway.
Man, you're weak. I was just trying to surprise you a little.
You're a copy of my sister.
I was ordered to take part in the battle near here. But that don't matter anymore. I'm gonna do whatever I want starting now.
Ai-chan, run!
Man, Shadow's persistent. Once I'm done with Aigis, I'm gonna grind you down to fertilizer.
Teddy!
They had to use the flatten image. Fertilizer? God damn it. The axe strikes Teddy a heavy blow, and he slams into the wall before sliding down into a heap. I try to rush to his side, but...
No!
I wasn't careful enough. The strike that Teddy was part of... the strike at Teddy was part of a combo, and the second attack anticipating that I would... with the second attack participating that I would come to his aid. Well, Teddy's dead, and nothing of value is lost. Though I was able to avoid a direct hit, the tip of the axe scratches my leg with a dreadful noise. I stand up and prepare to dodge further attacks, but the hit I just took has been enough to damage my leg. It won't support my weight, and I fall to my knees.
My frame's been cracked.
The copy of my sister smirks confidently and slowly approaches me. It seems to know that I'm incapable of moving with my agility now. Right then, I notice that the red pillars have appeared in the corners of the room, trapping us. There's no way to escape.
Trying to hurt you, you know? I knew you were weakened, Aigis. It's so easy. Just target the weakest one, and the numbers will drop on their own. These bonds are pretty useful.
Prepare to get the pain served. It knew I was weakened after all. I realized that I'm in severe danger right now. Soon, there will be no way to prevent it from claiming Teddy and me as its victims. Up until now, I'd witnessed how my sister's shadow and how my sister herself fought when her heart had been disabled. That's why I thought that I had understood how to deal with this fake version of her too. When my sister was in that state, she and her shadow had fought in the same way, using their body's full potential and fueled by an inner drive to destroy. Each attack from them was a threat, but such straightforward opponents are simple to deal with. But this fake is different. She isn't berserk. Like a shadow, she hasn't lost her heart. In other words, she has both cunning and power, and can fight like my sister when she's in her normal state.
In other words, she knows of my special qualities as an upgraded version of her hardware, and can precisely target my weaknesses.
The biggest difference between the 5th generation and Labras, as my sister and me, is our attack ranges. While my standard weapons are firearms, my sister has no long-range weaponry aside from some of her persona's abilities. Normally, I would have an advantage over her, provided that I'm able to keep a distance between us. My damaged leg robs me of my mobility, so I can't do that right now. The fighter able to hit harder will have the upper hand here. The double must have known that and targeted my leg from the start.
Already made a mistake in the limousine, and this will be my second blunder today. If only I had been better able to deal with things.
My regrets spill from my mouth as the axe in the shadow's hand rises higher and higher. My sister's axe weighs close to a third as much as her body, and she activates boosters to deliver an even more destructive attack, speeding up her swings to truly dangerous rates. A single hit from it could be enough to put me into a helpless state. As if that wasn't bad enough, I can barely stand up as is, and I can't even aim properly.
I yearned for power so that I could protect my comrades, but
What are you boiling about? You're next, Aigis. Come at me.
I couldn't respond to a sudden ambush. Those close to me have been wounded. I can't save anyone like this.
Now that I'm facing a truly desperate moment, something surges from the depth of my heart. Anger. Anger at myself and my powerlessness. I don't want to use my damage as an excuse for my death. Move, Aigis, move. Behind the rising heat swelling within me, I understand that my battered body is unable to put up a fight. But I cannot lose. I must maintain this power, but keep my emotions under control as I determine the best course of action and at the moment. Think, how can I turn the situation around? What can I do to protect my companions? A thought passes through my mind.
It seems I'll have to make use of that. I should have had maintenance done, like Fuka-san said.
The plume of dusk within me flares strongly, as if responding to my heart. Right now, I will do anything if it will give me the power to fight, even if it results in shattering my own self. Please. Give me the power to protect my friends.
Persona, rise up. Beginning frame coding. Stand by, EXO.
The axe fake wields flashes towards my face, and I hear the boosters roar. Would jumping over it to evade it be best? Before I can decide, my body reacts. I cross my arms and take the brunt of the strike on my forearms. Violent sparks fly up in the collision, and the force of the attack travels through my entire body. We've gone Super Saiyan Blue. My sister's fake stays where she is and leads heavily into the axe, pushing it against me. My joints scream as I try to push back, and the white smoke streams through the gap in my armor. My internal sensors repeatedly report that I'm operating at my maximum capacity. It's not enough. I need more. More power.
Oh, my. My-chan's shining. What are you doing?
Teddy seems to have been awakened by the violent sound of our clashing, and stammers as he lifts himself from off the floor. I'm relieved that he's able to move, but from this point on, everything is a gamble.
Teddy, please stay away. The probability of maintaining self-control in this mode is less than 1%. I'm sorry, but I can't guarantee that you'll be safe around me. It's ready. Releasing all limiters. Extreme Orgia mode.
Just wait until she hits Ultra Instinct. Yeah, so the clue Lotus is in, and Aigis' the probability is determined on whether the writer wants this to go well or not. I feel confident in Aigis' victory. Okay, so the clue Lotus in. And Aigis is arguably one of the best members in the Persona 3 party, because she has an ability called Orgia mode. And what that does is you lose control of her character, but she is pumped up to the max with power. It's basically like the Berserk. It's basically like the Berserk status effect in the Final Fantasy series. But she can't use it for too long. Eventually, she'll overheat, and she'll be out of commission for a while. So it's always better to save it for when you really need it, especially because you can't order her out of it. Ought to be just enough power for a bit of gameplay. That's my girl!
exciting.
Yep, that is a gameplay mechanic in P3. I don't know if they'll change it in Reloaded, but probably not. It would be too overpowered without the drawback like overheating. It was truly only coincidence that I'm still alive after releasing all the power of my plume of dusk. But applying my persona's materialization sequence to reinforce my body skeletal system and armor plating allowed me to endure a far stronger load than my components could normally handle. I suppose as it truly is extreme Orgia mode. My sister's double turns into a black mass and begins to melt. As it collapses into a puddle, glimmers of golden sand trickle upwards out of it and disappears into the ceiling. I finally reach Teddy and help up his injured round body set up.
Teddy, I'm so sorry. It's my fault.
Ai-chan, you were so cool. I regret nothing. Please, take care, Yosuke.
I'll stop hamming it up. You're fine.
Teddy!
Regrettably. The building begins to creak, the structure groaning like a giant, and the entire tower begins to quake as well. But the creaking and tremors are getting stronger compared to what we had felt earlier. In addition, the beastly howling thunders down from above. What is that? Is there a voice? Could it have come from much higher than the room where we rescued Mitsuru-san? Teddy's eyes snap open at this eerie sound.
What was that?
I don't know, but it seems a great power is trying to awaken.
Someone please respond.
Just then, a desperate plea cluttered by interference and speaks out in my mind. That voice is Rise Kujikawa's. It's difficult to hear due to the interference, but there's no mistaking it. The communication seems to be coming from quite the distance outside of this building.
Rise-chan, you're okay. I'm so glad.
Teddy, is that you? Where are you right now? Are you hurt?
I'm in the tower that appeared at school. I'm with Ai-chan, so I'm okay. I think.
Ai-chan? You mean Aigis-san? Aigis-san, please listen. There's a ton of red fog swirling around the top of that tower right now.
Where are you, Rise-san? Can you see this place from there?
Senpai and I are in town searching for but we can't get out because there's a horde of shadows.
The message is cut off before we can hear the entire thing. From what it sounds like, Risa-san and Yukiko-san appear to be in town together just as expected. If she said horde and shadows so close together, they must be facing a dangerous situation.
We have to go at once. Rise-chan, we're coming for you. Ow, 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 ow.
Please wait, Teddy. We've both been damaged quite badly. If we move now, we'll likely be in danger.
Yeah, that's true. But I just can't sit here and wait.
Just pop a medicine, you'll be fine.
Yowee! My back!
Teddy was surely wounded quite badly, but knowing his friends are in danger, he seems unable to contain himself and attempts to force himself up to his feet. I feel the same way. I must relay to everyone what Rise-san said about the school as soon as I can. When I approach the window, I to find out where we are. I see two figures leaving the school building.
That's Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san.
Thank goodness! They managed to get out before us.
I can understand why you want to hurry, but those two are attempting to rescue the others as well. Let's proceed with caution so that we can meet up with them quickly.
Mysteriously, I can still move as well. Even though my frame has reached the very limits of its operational tolerances, and my joints creak ominously, the sheer strength of my emotion to save my friends forces my body into action. If Teddy and I feel the same way, I'm sure we can keep moving.
Ow! Anyway, let's move. I'm getting fired up. Let's do this. Onward!
As they say, yeah!
My sweet autistic child. I can't help but smile at Teddy's enthusiasm. We leave the music room and the wreckage left behind from our recent battle and run down the hallway towards the exit.